It's better for some of the people that are now living. So now it's a pleasure to have Professor Amadeu Llebaria from Spain, from the CSIC Center. It's the Spanish Council for Scientific Research, the Institute of Advanced Chemistry of Catalonia in Barcelona, Spain. So thank you for coming.
Thank you.
There is a camera, so it's better if you sit down, I think, because people will see you.
Is that okay?
It's okay.
I prefer to be.
Yes.
So when I received your mail, offered me an opportunity. The task was this one. Okay. So focus on the opportunities available in your research center, and then try to give a counseling for caring planning and development. So, only pharma graduates is a great idea. This is the main thing that I would like to communicate to you. It's an excellent idea, and I thank for all the people involved in that, because it's something that could be an example for every country trying to do something. My institution, CSIC, is a research institution, but it's not a university. So we have seen something similar this morning in Germany. So we have the same situation. So if a PhD student is trying to come to our institution, have to look for a university to present the thesis and obtain an academic degree from the university. It's the biggest research center institution in Spain. We have more than 100 institutes, going from neuroecology to particle physics, any kind of biology, all the subjects. And our institute is a chemical institute. It's a traditional chemistry institute in Barcelona, mainly working in organic chemistry, and now devoting to, let's say, the interface of chemistry, biology, and some other situations. Essentially, chemistry is a science that deals with molecules, how to make molecules, how to study molecules, and what these molecules are for. And in this way, we are quite versatile scientists, let's say, because we can work with physicists to look for material science, for example, making molecules for material science, or we can work with a doctor or a pharmacist or a biologist for making molecules, looking for a biological activity or therapeutic activity. I would not say nothing about my institute, so I will focus on that. And it would focus on that from a student perspective, because for me, it's a personal view. A student needs a strong interaction with a supervisor or a teacher. Only pharma graduates is a great idea.
We did not pay him.
This... no, it's so... I found out. It's morning. So, this drawing, this figure, is from a paper on stem cells. The red ball, it is supposed to be a stem cells that have different pathways to find, we could say that you call differentiation, okay? To differentiate. So you are students, Unifarma graduates, candidates, like a stem cell. So you are trying to differentiate yourself in a let's say, an academic environment, maybe in a job environment, in a professional environment. And there is a landscape. So this is the landscape of the stem cells and the way they have. If the cell is taking one way, then it's not taking the other. And sometimes there is no connection between one and the other. What you need is a journey plan, and a roadmap. And you have to strong commit yourself in doing that, because it's very important for you now. There are different ways to do it. The right is very nice, but maybe it's not the only one. If you look at the left, maybe it's comfortable, so it's a pit of energy, so everybody is comfortable there. But you cannot go out from that. So you have to be very careful in which pathway are you looking for, and you are taking. Look, when I was a student, a professor told me a sentence. No mires nunca el camino más fácil. Don't take never the easiest way. And it has been profitable for me. And now I have the opportunity to communicate this to you. So don't take never the easiest way. The landscape has different attractions. So you have to decide on something. So you need information to decide. Now your objective is to find this information to decide. So there are plenty of directions. You are looking at that and you see this photograph and say this. It's something similar to my situation now, where I have to go. Another advice: ask yourself the right question. This is very important. In science, it's much more important to ask the question than to find the answer. If you don't ask the right question, you will never find the right answer. And in this case, you have to ask this question yourself. So I'm going to tell you some ideas on a PhD, because maybe some of you are deciding if you are going to do a PhD or not. This is a personal view, of course. Maybe another person would say you another answer, another explanation. For me, a PhD is a student training period. Essentially, it's this one. You have a research project and you have a specific subject where you have to work. You can probably not decide the research project, and you cannot decide the subject where, well, maybe you can look around if you want to do a PhD in biology or in chemistry. And a PhD is another landscape. So it's maybe a smaller landscape, but it's another landscape that you have to decide. For me, during a PhD, the student has to learn a methodology that is general. So it doesn't matter if you are doing a PhD in medicine or it's the scientific method, let's say. So the how to plan, you have an hypothesis, you have a science there, and you have to take information on that, to make a plan, to make a... And at the same time, you have to learn a specific theoretical, and usually in this Unifarma graduate projects, experimental things. So you have to teach. So you have intellectual, let's say, duties and intellectual work, and you have also manual work, because laboratory means that you have to do experimental work. The first question: why to do a PhD? This is not for love. This is from a newspaper article that appeared in The Guardian 2 years ago. And it was, well, interesting. Why to do a PhD? So you can ask this question. Probably there are plenty of answers to that. But essentially, a PhD will give you a mastery in a subject, and probably a methodological proficiency in a subject, science. It will give you a higher preparation for academy and also for industry. It will give you a competency in research, and maybe in the future you will receive also higher remuneration and prestige. But remember, remuneration does not mean only money. Money is only a part of the subject. When to do a PhD? Now. Don't wait. you cannot wait 3 years after graduation and then to decide to do a PhD. Because it will be too late. You will not maybe able to apply for grants, maybe. So if you decide, you have to decide it now. Where to do PhD? Where it is possible, no? But no, maybe you can have more chances than you are thinking. So there are plenty of places where you can do a PhD. I would consider abroad, because I'm from abroad, from Italy, but I think it's good for even from a personal point of view to have to spend a part of your life abroad of your own country. What to do on a PhD? You can do plenty of things. My advice is to choose for borderline in science. Something in between, if you are chemist, something in between chemistry and physics, chemistry and biology, chemistry and pharmacology, something in between that. For me, the most important thing is how to do a PhD, for me. You see the landscape, and it would be nice for you to have the left landscape, not the right one. But the right one is the normal one. Okay? So you have to work a little bit in trying to get you in the left. So to look everything with a perspective that helps you to decide. How to do a PhD? I'm going to my subject. I'm sorry, but I have to do. I'm trying to work in drug development, in a way, from an academic perspective. So I will not do drugs, because drugs are done by pharmaceutical companies. Okay? But I can help people to be informed in specific subjects. And to do that from a pure chemical perspective, but I think it can be applied to any other subjects, you need to expand the information. We were talking with, well, it's the philosophy that Christina was telling you just before lunch, okay? So you can make molecules, and chemistry will be the central part of your PhD, because we are chemists. But there are other aspects that are interesting, and will give you a formation specific for drug development, for drug discovery. Okay? It is all the background of biology and biophysics, the structural studies, the computational studies, computational chemistry and computational design is really powerful now. Okay? To get an idea of the molecule that you need for a specific subject. In drug, it's a therapeutic goal. No? Let's say something that can be blocking this receptor, and if we block the receptor, we think we will get the response. So it's a biological response that you are saying. In my group, and probably I would give you an expanded vision. People is making molecules, but at the same time is designing the molecules, or helping to design the molecules. And then is trying to test these molecules by themselves, inside the group, or outside the group. Okay? We arrived till animal models, and this in the drug development process, it's just discovery. So it's that at the very beginning. So we are still in the experimental part of the drug development. So we tend to propose a multitask, multidiscipline PhD for the students, because they can have a little bit of vision and strong results for doing a PhD, because if not, you have only minimal pieces of art. So we try to... It seems difficult, but it's working. And we have collaborative PhD, because I'm organic chemist, but I don't know how to manage with animal testing or cellular testing or other things. So we try to go in networking with other groups, co-directing thesis. We need a thesis for, this is a strong problem, there's nothing here, we can work together. Okay. Groups with different expertises. So this is very important for you, to get information on other subjects that are not your own subject, but are related to give you a wide vision. Okay? And moreover, we try to apply this to only pharma graduate period. I have a student from Sicily now. She's doing the molecules. She has started to do some enzyme assays with these molecules. And in these 24 weeks, we will try if we can arrive to make a cycle of optimization of these molecules. I think it's a general philosophy. It's a personal philosophy. Sorry for being so personal, but it was my feeling today. Again, Unifarma graduates is a great opportunity. Why? Because it helps you to have your landscape in the left side, a general landscape. So Unifarma is shifting you from the right to the left, and this is not a political okay. So if you are fortunate and you are considered for Unifarma Tironcinos,